Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is going to be a really good segment. There's a lot to talk about. And let me turn my phone off. There is a lot to talk about in 2019. And look, the past couple of days have been slow. It might be slow. I think this week is. Trump is focused on the shutdown. He's looking at different ways, apparently through Department of Defense funds that haven't been allocated. He has money for construction projects related to national security or related to any calls for a state of emergency that that Trump can do. Definitely check out my latest segment on HA Second Amendment. That is right there. It is a Springfield Armory 1911 45 ACP. Able to rent that at the indoor range. And it's a very expensive, very well designed and crafted handgun. It's pretty awesome. And check that out. It's pretty awesome. It's 50 rounds in indoor range. I go to this wonderful range in Los Angeles, and it's a whole bunch. This is one of my favorite, but Oak Tree is my favorite. It's really beautiful in the mountains, and I have an AK and AR, and I have a whole bunch of segments with my AK at Oak Tree outside of Los Angeles. Pretty awesome. But to my super chat, thank you so very much for giving me incentive to rock these live streams. And I appreciate your support greatly. Let's get started. President Trump, before I get to when I think and why I think he'll declassify and how that'll lead eventually to Clinton getting indicted, I've been saying she's going to get indicted for years. Trump did not commit crimes. Everyone knows this. But just like before the election, nobody thought she could lose. And then when she lost, everyone was like, oh, yeah, we knew she'd lose. No, that's not true. I was like the only person aside from Sticks to say Clinton's going to. The same mentality is exemplified or expressed by people left and right. No, nothing will ever happen to her. No. Look, she might have the DOJ or unknown people at the FBI, but the people who were at the height of power protecting her are no longer there. They're no longer there. The Clinton Foundation is a money laundering scheme. It is an obvious money laundering scheme. There's no debate about that. It's an obvious money laundering scheme. Okay? Gabbers, finally getting your notification again. Happy New Year, HA and everyone. Thank you, Gabbers. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Gabbers. And Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Let's read this. Majority want Trump to declassify documents from Russia investigation. A majority want President Trump to declassify documents pertaining to the Russia investigation, according to a new Hill-Harris poll. So you don't really get this in the Washington Post. Like basically an extension of the Democratic Party. The Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, and CNN are extensions of the Democratic Party. They're part of the public relations. If you were on the left, like I was, they called me the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. I remember the Washington. Now I'm a Trump supporter. I'm voting Trump. But on the left, they went after Bernie Sanders. And they're actually still going after Bernie Sanders now, which is interesting. Now you have this watered down version of Bernie's already watered down quote unquote revolution. Not really a revolution when you side with the king or the queen. The second you find out how treacherous they are. So I remember being on the left and then just, constantly. Actually, the Washington Post called me. This is interesting. The unofficial scribe. Check this out. H.A. Goodman, the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, wrote popular columns arguing that the FBI primary could break for Sanders. And I was essentially right. Not in terms of Bernie being who I thought he was, but here's what they said about me. H.A. Goodman, the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voter, who's now voting for Trump. This is what they said about me for people who... Oh, Lord. Okay, the link. All right, I'll get it to you in 1 second. Okay. Here you go. That's in the Washington Post. But so, like, I was writing a lot, and my articles went viral, and I remember being outside of the mainstream then, and now I'm still outside of the mainstream. Yes, I do. I love quoting what people say about me. I am something special, and people like me. There are plenty like me as well. You're right. So I agree with you on everything you've stated. I think I'm special. There are many like me, and I do enjoy quoting what people said about me. So that's true. I can't even get upset with what you said because it's true. Ken Pomerantz, H.A., what's this about Trump resigning before the end of 2019, using this chip not to be arrested? That is fake, absolutely fake news. And he would never be arrested for anything. He didn't do anything wrong. Let me see. Let me try to... Trump resign, arrested. Let's see. I haven't heard that, and I don't know where people are saying that. Probably, one of the conspiracy theories on the left. But Ken, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about at all. Gabbers, thank you. Ken, no. Thank you. Escoto, thank you so very much. By the way, who is this wonderful gentleman to the right? No, to the left. Here, to right on your screen, to the left of me. Who's this wonderful... No, not Al Franken. Harry Carey! Right. That's right. Harry Carey, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Carey. I love Harry Carey. I love my two favorite announcers of all time are Harry Carey and obviously Vince Scully, who's an amazing, who's just amazing. He's absolutely brilliant. But let's continue reading. Okay. A majority want president documents pertaining to the Russia investigation. 59% of registered voters contacted for the survey say they want Trump to declassify documents. Generally speaking, I think Americans view transparency as a good thing, so it's not surprising to me that most Americans want the documents to be classified. This is the research director at Ipsos Public Affairs polling company. So most people want the documents to be declassified. I have no clue. I'll speculate as to why Trump doesn't. Number one, he's probably holding the cards close to his vest, or holding the cards close to himself, away from, as like, this is like an ace or some kind of leverage he has over the intelligence community. I don't think that I think that sooner rather than later, he needs to declassify this information. Now, they might say, oh, well, if he declassifies the information, he's going to damage national security, he's going to ruin the image, or create even more chaos. But there's the media is a circus every single day. So there's no point in holding off the declassification. If he's trying to wait and time everything for right before the election, like, what he should have done is declassified all this stuff last year, or fired Mueller. Because if you did that, then you would have a counter narrative. The counter narrative that exists is only a counter to people like you, people like me, people like Paul Sperry, Tom Fitton, Kimberly Strassel, Sarah Carter, Dan Bond, John Solomon, Joe DeGeneva, Victoria Tenzing. The mainstream doesn't get this. They don't understand. So he needs to declassify all of this. Why he hasn't, like I said, I don't know. I do not know. All I know, he's taking too long. He's taking too long, and time is of the essence here. Now, he could be waiting for William Barr to be nominated as Attorney General, or to be confirmed as Attorney General. William Barr, I believe, like I said, Clinton will get indicted eventually, because she's an actual criminal who transferred top secret intelligence to the United States government, taking this top secret JWIX, which is a secure channel within the United States government, onto a server in her basement. So that's going to happen. I don't know when, but I am pretty confident that William Barr will do something. I'm not saying trust Barr. Well, I agree with you. I don't believe in Q at all. I don't even know if Clinton's going to jail, but I do know she'll eventually get indicted. And not because there's always because justice wins out, because she's a horrible slop and she committed major crime. So I don't think I'm making Trump supporters look bad, but maybe you were referring to other people. Definitely there won't be mass arrest, Gitmo tribunals, any of that stuff. But because we have to just tell the truth about it, it's like this ridiculous conspiracy theory. Trump in September sought to declassify the Russia documents at the request of some congressional Republicans. The president said it would improve transparency about the probes, but he later delayed the decision, citing concerns from key allies. So he already stated that he was going to declassify the Russia docs. All we'll find out is that they started the probe illegally. So we already knew this. But now, I mean, lives have been destroyed, or lives have been altered irrevocably. You have Manafort. Well, Manafort actually committed crimes. Ken Bombers, check out. All right, let's see. People magazine. Oh. President Trump will resign in 2019. Former Bush. Here's why. Let's hear this. A former advisor for President George W. Bush was and he will be out of office by the end of the year, resigning so as to avoid criminal prosecution. So that's ridiculous. In a Tuesday column for NewJersey.com, let's see, ex-Bush and Whitman advisor, Trump won't be impeached, but he will leave the presidency in 2019. How? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But let's read. The major issue for the political pundits, Donald Trump's presidency will survive this year, leading into the 2020 elections. Their focus is on the likelihood as to whether Trump will be impeached by the House of Representatives, then removed by the Senate. Why would he be removed by the Senate? He hasn't committed any crimes. Poor Artie Lang. My God. Poor guy. I'm reading a NewJersey.com article. All right. Let me see. Okay, so instead, the self-professed supreme dealmaker will use his presidency as a bargaining chip with federal and state authorities in 2019, agreeing to leave office in exchange for the relevant authorities not pursuing criminal charges against him, his children, and the Trump organization. What crimes did they commit? Trump will be impeached by the House of Representatives for high crimes and misdemeanors. His involvement in directing his former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen to commit a felony? No, it's not a felony. How do we know this? Because Bradley Smith, the former Federal Election Commission chairman in the Washington Post, said paying Stormy or the tabloid regarding McDougal was not wasn't a campaign finance violation. President Obama had hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines because of his campaign finance violations by making illegal in-kind contributions to the Trump campaign. Are you kidding me? And concealing them? That's not a campaign expense. That's not a campaign contribution. It wouldn't even have affected Michael Cohen pled guilty to things that aren't even crimes. And we know this because the Federal Election Commission chairman, a former chairman of the FEC, Bradley Smith, stated it's not even a crime. This is so ridiculous. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has already obtained Cohen's guilty plea to his conduct. See, this is why Trump should have fired Mueller. This is why Trump should have fired Mueller. You could have the New York Southern District could have simply gone after Cohen. They didn't need Mueller. Or maybe they did need Mueller, but you know what? Democrats now control the House of Representatives, and the votes will be there for the needed impeachment. So they'll probably impeach Trump, which won't work. So thank you, Ken, for this article. It's pretty awesome. Big Chris, now the Senate is solid and Trump can't be impeached. Trump could be impeached. You should fire Mueller, definitely. Still rooting for the Q folks. Mass arrest would be awesome. Well, thank you, Big Chris. Thank you. Thank you, Big Chris. Appreciate it. Thank you. He should fire Mueller for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, but if the Senate convicts a president based on nonsense, the Republican Party, at a certain point, see, these people are political animals, and this is why Trump should act decisively. I agree with you. Rehoboth Farm. It's purely political, but there's not enough. There aren't enough Mitt Romneys who think that, the Republican Party could, with establishment figures like Romney. I don't think at the end of the day you can get 67 senators. You have what, 53? You have 53 and to 47. So the Senate composition. DeSilvi, hello. H.A. Lou DeSilvio from Heroic Episodes, hello. Nice segment. Could you please send me your email? You know what? I just read your email. I'm a little late on emails to contact Goodman78, but I will respond. Lou DeSilvio, Heroic Episodes is awesome, everyone. Everyone episodes on Twitter, and it's a wonderful series for veterans. And a dramatic TV series providing veterans to submit their stories, real stories for content consideration. Heroic Episodes. Definitely check it out. Great for veterans. And it's heroicepisodes.org. But Lou, I respond back to you for sure. Thank you. Thank you, Lou. Asian Pepsi 1, when you hire an attorney, he's an expert in the law. If the attorney commits crimes, it's on him. Also, this AOC dancing, so my 12-year-old niece. Agent Pepsi 1, thank you. That's true. It's 53-47. So it's 53-47. You're going to need what? You're going to need a whole, 20? You need 20 senators. I don't think that he can even get 6 or 7 that would vote to convict Trump. Imagine that would be the absolute end of the Republican Party. That would be the end of the Republican Party as we know it. That's it. The end of the Republican Party. At a certain point in time, they're going to think of themselves. They're going to say, look, Mueller has indicted or obtained guilty pleas from 33 people that have nothing to do with Russian hacking, even the intelligence officers from Russia. How do we know? We only know from CrowdStrike, and they were outsourced by Hillary Clinton. There's zero evidence of any of this. This is even worse than the whole Q conspiracy theory on the right. It's like a message board that's obviously the most absurd thing in the world, where just predict nonsensical, there's a Q on a plane, the call sign. Who cares? That's not what military officers do anyway. And if they were a threat, they would have been arrested already. They're wrong about that whole thing was wrong about Sessions and everything. It's so ridiculous. So absurd. How much more evidence do you need? But this is worse. The left's conspiracy theory is Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC. The DNC wasn't even hacked. We have no evidence it was hacked. The DNC was not hacked. Why would Russia hack the DNC but not Clinton's private server with top secret intelligence? So stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. I need to talk about it because people need to stop believing it. It's so absurd. Senior Chalupin, thank you. So this is NewJersey.com. Okay, so Trump will be impeached. Okay, this is not even a crime. This is the stupidest thing in the world. Oh yeah, he paid people to it's not even, he paid romantic relationships to keep quiet. It's not even a crime. Campaign finance violations. Obama had campaign finance violations also. He paid what, $400,000 in fines. That's it. His campaign did. And just because Ramla Farah, thank you. Ramla, God bless you, and Happy New Year to you. And thank you so very much for always watching and for just being so supportive. Ramla Farah, thank you. Okay, so this is to the wonderful Cube people. Thank you so much. How can I be wrong? It is a message board on 8chan. There's nothing to be wrong about. It's an obvious conspiracy theory. Anyway, so how much more evidence do you need? In order for the Senate to remove Trump from office, however, there must be a vote of at least 2/3 of senators affirming the House passed articles of impeachment. That would require a defection against Trump of at least 20 Republican senators. Not. He should have gone full force, full steam when he had the House. I don't know what he was thinking. That is highly unlikely, regardless of how compelling the impeachment case may be. All but 5 of the 53 GOP senators represent solid red states. Their incumbency will not be threatened. Their incumbency will not be removal of the president. Each such senator runs a serious risk, however, of a re-election challenge if he or she supports removal for what? We don't even know if the DNC was hacked. That is the dumbest conspiracy theory of all. Thank you, Dave Roberts. Thank you. It's never ending. It's never ending. It's never ending.
Trump worked with Russia. I do. A cue. A Christmas stocking. Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC to let the Bernie know Russia. Christmas stocking. Russia DNC.
Trump is developing more in the office of the Attorney General of New York State. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because New York hates Trump. The Manhattan District's attorney. Where is Little Rock, Arkansas? I was talking about for 2 years. Attorney for the Southern District of New York in response to a new lawsuit. Donald Trump Foundation. The lawsuit alleged a shocking pattern of illegality involving the Trump Foundation, including unlawful coordination of the Trump campaign. Yeah. How about a private server outside of the United States government with top secret intelligence? Secret intelligence outside of the United States government. It's never ending. Having succeeded in you know what? I am pitching an article, ladies and gentlemen, about Trump already being better than President Obama after 2 years. Let's hope a whole bunch of publications pick up the article. I'll be pitching it tonight. Let's hope. Let's hope and pray. Please, God. Please. Having succeeded in obtaining Cohen's guilty plea, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District can now investigate whether there's any evidence involving the Trump Organization in criminal activity. Really? Such as money laundering crimes. Well, what about the Clinton Foundation that actually had pay-to-play schemes involving weapons deals? Hey, Uranium One, where we have Uranium One whistleblowers that Huber said, nah, we're not going to do anything with it. What happened to the whistleblowers? William D. Campbell, represented in court by Victoria Tenzing. An amazing, brilliant attorney. What happened to the whistleblower that said, oh, yeah, the FBI informant that said, oh, yeah, by the way, Andaman 31458, thank you. Thank you always for your support, Andaman 31458, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Shinobi 1. Can't believe there's still trust sessions. I know. Well, Shinobi 1 Kenobi. Thank you. Yeah. It's just it's when you're too, I'll never. It's like you don't. It's too much fun. The riddles are too much fun. That's the thing. This makes me like Rudy Giuliani even better. Straham's wife claims he spent 900 grand on alleged mistresses and travel in 7 months. That's awesome. Wow. Rudy, put him in, coach. There are only 2 years on. Steinberg wrote, with his approval rating in the abysmal state in the forthcoming recession. The forthcoming recession. Where is like, oh, they're like hoping for, like, please, a recession, please. And they're like, did you see what he said? He's such a bad person. Libya. Yet he actually destroyed a country. It's like unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I mean, it is just unbelievable. You look at Obama's presidency. Just helped destroy Libya. And it's like, there's so many, and this is the problem. When there's so much disinformation from mainstream, people long for an answer. So suddenly military tribunals and secret aid speaking through 8chan makes so much sense. But the problem is we're relying on the establishment to of a criminal. William Barr is the establishment Republican that Trump needs. Why can't I continue talking about Q? What does the emotional appeal people have? It's not a family member. It's a stupid message board. Who cares? It's not good. Believe me, like the message board's feeling is not heard. The feelings of the message board are not heard. My God almighty. It's just a obvious conspiracy. Obvious. It's a message board on 8chan. If you go on 8chan too long, your antivirus, your computer messes up. Anyway. No, Q is not talking directly to any person. There's no talking. There's military officers talking. It's not happening. Even Jordan Sather said it's not happening. I'm like, are you certain? He's like, I'm not going to tell you. Well, that these military officers exist, I'm not going to tell you. He didn't even have the courage to say he was certain. But everyone else is like, don't talk about Q. I love Q. There you go. I mean, People Magazine, Trouble with Zion 2020. Look, media is only going to get worse. I had lunch with a buddy of mine who is a Democrat. No, Q did not predict peace between the Koreas. No. Q didn't predict anything. I'm not just saying it. It's a fact. Q has not predicted one thing. What they do, they have open-ended riddles that are so open-ended. Obviously, everything that I've been saying and other people are saying, it's like, the people who run Q watch me and the 7 other people they listen to Dan Bongino, they read Kimberly Strassel, Sarah Carter, Tom Fitton, who's the man, John Solomon, Paul Sperry. They said trust Sessions. Are you kidding? Sessions was clowned every single day by Trump. I'm not even telling you trust Barr, but William Barr, I think, will be a lot better. Am I certain? No way. I'm not certain at all. They said trust Sessions 7 times. That is a fact. 7 or 8 times. Trust Sessions, trust Sessions. Hey, I'm not going to talk about this. Too much. It's like I'm doing a public service, but nobody understands that. Anyway, he needs to declassify because you know what? Honestly, De Niro accuses Trump of being a real. Yeah, right. But Clinton is not. Clinton actually referred to black youth as super predators. When you see someone like Trump becoming president, I thought, well, okay, let's see what he does. Maybe he'll change. But he got worse. How did he get with bipartisan prison reform? It showed me that he is a real racist. I thought maybe as a New Yorker, he understands the diversity in the city as bad as I thought he. What did he do? De Niro, what did he do? Help me out, Robert De Niro. What did he say or do? Obama destroyed an African nation in Libya. What did Trump do? I felt we were on a new thing. I didn't realize how against him certain. Oh my God. President Obama. It's like De Niro doesn't realize that Hillary Clinton referred to black youth as super predators. It's easier to cross lines with shoe leather than secured, etc. networks. That's true. Papa D. I like that. Papa D has my favorite messages. Papa D, Happy New Year to you. You're the best. Inga Hicks, I agree with you. Especially in terms of, I mean, he sent American soldiers everywhere. And he sent I believe special operations to Africa than any other president. Heinrich G, thank you. Please confirm that the top right guy is John Kerr. Top right meaning Harry Carey. So the top right of the screen is Harry Carey, and the top left is Eisenhower. not John Kerr. It's Heinrich G. Thank you so very much. No, it's the baseball. It's the baseball announcer for the Cubs, formerly White Sox, and yeah. Thank you, Heinrich. Johnny 5. H8. People believe in all kinds of things because it gives them hope, but that I understand what you're doing, but some people want to believe and won't listen no matter what. I agree, but hope. If you know who gave hope, Charles Manson gave hope. You know who gives hope? Johnny 5. I see that. I don't disrespect any people. Johnny 5, I agree with you, and I don't disrespect anyone. I don't call out anyone in particular, but what I say is it is dangerous. False hope is dangerous. Okay? False hope from unknown people is very, very dangerous, especially through 8chan, it's like so obvious. Trump would not go through 8chan. He would just be like, oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of military intel officers. And also what happens is instead of ensuring that Trump does his job, people are like, oh, it'll happen, no problem. That's also something. Then when I've been saying, people came to me like before I went off, they're like, CHA still don't believe in Q. I'm like, what? I've been 2 years prior to when Q, like that conspiracy theory that actually said that she will get arrested in a certain time and date with different trip codes and everything. But De Niro accuses Trump of being but Hillary Clinton, how on earth? On earth? Clinton is known for her racism. She's known for her racism. She used the birther myth. And she's a Democrat. Thank you, Johnny Five. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think anyone's deluded, but people are fooled. I don't think it's millions. It's definitely not, but there's tens of thousands perhaps. And they're deceived, which is not that's not out of the ordinary. That happens a lot. Look at there are actually millions and millions and millions of people deceived by the Russia collusion. There you go. That's far more dangerous than Q. It's ridiculous. The Russia collusion is like an hour of my buddy. He was like, "You've been such a bad person. How dare you? How could you even support Trump?" And I'm like, "How could you support Clinton?" But that's not what I'm saying. Johnny Five. I agree. False hope is dangerous. At some point, however, you're just beating a dead horse. They'll eventually wake up. I do agree with you on that. They will wake up. I do agree with you. Johnny Five, I do agree with you. But I just get so, you know what? It's not like oftentimes someone says something in the chat and then it'll set me off. So someone says something in the chat. Johnny Five. Much Johnny Five as always. Thank you. How Trump's rally support for the government shutdown seems to be working. Hey, how Trump's tweets to government shutdown seems to be working. In a battle with Congress over border wall funding, President Trump has leaned heavily on Twitter. So far, the strategy seems to be working. That doesn't bode well for a quick resolution of standoff. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. I want Democrats to fund the border wall after running on abolish ICE. That has to happen. That has to happen. And they won't see the hypocrisy, but I will. President Mike Pence had a productive meeting with in many details of border security discussed. We are now planning a steel barrier rather than concrete. It is both stronger and less obtrusive. Good solution, made in the USA. Nice. Well, concrete wouldn't be good, I don't think. Concrete is, Rob 589, Zero Hedge, Clinton Crony says Bernie supporters must be silenced for 2020 primary. I know. I saw that. David Brock. If you've been waiting for my impressions, they're back. All rejoice for H.A. Bernard, Rico Suave, Sanders impressions. If you think David Brock is going to stop, you're gonna get a knuckle sandwich. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, let's see. So Pence had a meeting with Schumer and Pelosi. And then somebody says, show us one well, all of these studies are partisan. So most of these studies are partisan. But there's no doubt a wall will prevent or impede the flow of illegal narcotics into the country and other criminal acts. So, but Democrats are stupid. They can get citizenship for hundreds of thousands and millions of people. Dreamers. They could probably get 2 million Dreamer citizenship right now, which is what I want. Which is what I want. I have friends who are Dreamers. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Let me look at something. So let's see. Trump's approval rating by state. So according to this recording here, hold on one second. So Trump's approval rating. What was Trump's approval rating by state? Johnny Five, we can abolish ICE after we build the wall. Johnny Five. Inga Hicks. The shutdown will remain, and do you think the wall will get built? I think the $5 billion to begin construction or continue construction, I think that the shutdown will last at least a couple more weeks, if not months, Inga. And I think that he has to he cannot capitulate. So this is Inga Hicks. He cannot capitulate. If he does, it's not good. He can easily lose 2020 if he capitulates. I think Democrats are going to give in. They're going to have to give in. So, they're going to have to give in. I think it'll be at least a couple more weeks, if not months. The interesting thing about what I'm looking at right now, Trump's approval rating, and it was 51% January 17, 51% approval. Now it's December 18th, 49%. So he can win Ohio. Florida in January 2017 is 56%, 49% now. I think he can win Florida. Pennsylvania becomes the issue. 40% Pennsylvania and 45%. No, hold on one second. I'm reading this wrong. Sorry. So it was 56% approval in 17. Now it's 46% approval in Florida. And see, this is the problem here. You have mainstream constantly, because he has to win Florida. I think he's going to win 2020, because I think that these approval ratings, 60% of Americans disapproved of Trump going into November 6, 2016. November 8th, 2016. But you have 2017, 49%, 45%. Now, yeah. Michigan, let's see Michigan. He needs to win Michigan. 48% in January of 2017, 41% now. But then again, you're not really, there is that hidden vote. And no, it's not it's just people who, of all different ethnicities who can't stand the Democratic Party, who didn't show up for the midterms. Johnny Five plowed through the day. And the senators, Florida, but the Senate and Republicans. So Johnny Five plowed through the day. A government that functions least functions best. Shut it down. Give power back to the people. Johnny Five. Thank you. Johnny Five. It's true. Thank you. Johnny Five. Thank you. So, but if you look at 2020 election odds, let's see. Trump is still tops. And then you have Kamala and Beto O'Rourke and Joe Biden. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So, win. I think he's going to win. And I've been saying that. I actually had a segment right after November 8th, 2016, saying that he was going to win re-election. He'll run for re-election for sure. Look, he's reached the most powerful position in the world. So Beto O'Rourke's odds of winning the presidency in 2020 have soared. Wow. I would love for Beto O'Rourke to be nominee just so I could laugh. Oh my. Please, God. We need Beto O'Rourke. Could you imagine that primary? That is going to be hilarious. Absolutely. The Democratic primary. Oh my God, it'll be hilarious. It'll be so hilarious. Then you have like these betting odds, and then you're going to have the polls that are going to say something completely different. Patriot 95, go long. Mary, pass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you. I'll be back a little later. This has been a great segment. Thank you so very much, everyone. And thank you for your support and kind words. I appreciate it. Thank you.